Alrighty. Just gonna get just gonna get set up here, get my stream manager on. Okay. Anyways, we're live. Let me and put this on Twitter. Yeah, hold on. Let me I'm just gonna do my Twitter. I'm gonna let people know that I'm going live. Go on Twitter, now known as X, because I refuse to call it Twitter. But anyways, there we go. Okay, anyways, we're live and live. Okay, anyways, let me get to well, we're gonna watch some stuff on YouTube. But anyways, let me get to some personal stuff. Okay. So talk about my day so far. It is currently 12:30 or almost 12:30 here in California. It's kind of sunny out. Sun's out at least. No more, it's not cloudy. It's not cold either because god damn, I hate the damn cold. Look at the fit. Yeah, this is the fit. I got this cool shirt over at got this cool shirt over. I think I think my audio cut out there for a bit. But yeah, anyways, it's 59 degrees out. It's cold, a little too cold for me. I do not like the cold. But yeah, we're just gonna get right into it. I worked out today. I woke up at 4 in the morning today. Went to the gym, got a little workout. Did what did I do? I did like 3. Oh my god. Okay, there we go. I don't know why it keeps cutting in and out. I might have to invest in a new microphone, but that's gonna be for later. I don't know. Might have to go buy one soon. But anyway, so let's just get right into it, I guess, right? Let's just
President
start
Donald
watching
Trump over the
YouTube.
weekend defending his decision to fire a number of inspectors general from over a dozen federal agencies. It happened in a Friday night purge, and it raises concern about the future of oversight in his administration.
It's a very common thing to do. Some people thought that some were unfair or some were not doing the job, and it's a very standard.
Baby Alexa 1v1, thank you for the follow. Thank you, thank you.
Mr. President.
Well, they're not my people. I don't know anybody that would do that, but we'll put people in there that will be very good.
Okay, wait, hold on. What did he say? This is about him firing some inspector generals.
Some people thought that some were unfair or some were not doing the job. And
Okay.
it's a very standard thing to do.
Do you plan to bring your own people in those positions, Mr. President?
Of course.
My people. I don't know anybody that would do that, but we'll put people in there that will be very good.
He's gonna put in people who are gonna basically listen to what he says without. He's looking for loyalty First of all, he wants loyalty. He doesn't want what happened in the last time he was a president, you know, and Mike Pence was disloyal to him. And Nancy Charlotte 83, thanks for the follow. Thank you. How's it going? But yeah, Trump just wants people who's loyal to him, who won't talk back. Yeah, you know, I'm doing okay. Just chatting, watching some YouTube, some news. Try to keep myself up to date and whatnot. Follow you on X, check your X and give me a follow. I want to talk about your Twitch channel. I have some amazing ideas for you. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I already have someone. Well, I don't know if they're still with me anymore, but you know, I don't know. We'll see. We'll talk. Maybe after stream or something. But yeah, anyways, Trump only wants people who's loyal to him, obviously, you know, just like most people do, most presidents. But the thing is with him, he wants someone who's loyal to a fault, who won't really talk back or have any ideas, or maybe, you know, some ideas that, you know, make Trump look good, but you know, yeah. He's just gonna have people who listen to him.
General were meant to serve as independent government watchdogs, a check against fraud, waste, or abuse of power.
Wow.
Though Trump, who fired a handful of inspectors general during his first term, says it is, quote, common practice, the scale of Trump's purge has not been seen since Ronald Reagan dismissed 15 IGs on his first day in office in 1981.
Also getting the axe were the 15 inspector generals. They were the targets of candidate Reagan, who accused them of not doing enough to eliminate government waste. They'll be replaced, in the words of White House press spokesman James Brady, with people who are meaner than a junkyard dog when it comes to ferreting out waste, fraud, and corruption.
Democrats warning that these firings are not going to cut government waste as promised.
I mean, of course not. I mean, Trump's going to ramp up the military. I mean, it's kind of obvious. He's already kind of doing it by having the army go to the southern border and, you know, putting them to work there. But, yeah. The Void, yes, hello. How's it going? But yeah, I mean, this is what fascists do. This is the fascist playbook here. He's gonna cut people who are looking supposedly at corruption and whatnot, so they don't, like, you know, tattle or even like speak up about like the horrible things that Trump wants to do. We chillin'? Heck yeah, that's nice. Good to hear. But yeah, like, I don't know, these are scary times that I'm living in. Me when the fascist dude does fascist things as fascist than done before. Yeah. Yeah, and the thing is, what annoys me is that, like, we're seeing this live IRL day by day, minute by minute, and like I feel like people are kind of just letting this happen, which is kind of weird. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, I seen videos of like people on TikTok doing the famous salute that Elon Musk did, the chest tap, and you know I'm not gonna do it obviously, but you know, crazy. Here's Senator Adam Schiff. He's gonna see what his thoughts on it are.
American people, if we don't have good and independent inspector generals, are going to see the swamp refill. They're going to see rampant waste fraud. They're going to see corruption. It may be the president's goal here, when he's got a meme coin that's making him billions, is to remove anyone.
I like how he mentioned the meme coin. Obviously, dude, yeah, President Trump rug pull. That's crazy. Only president to ever do a rug pull like that. That is crazy. Like, not only him, but like the people around him also. I mean, freaking Melania has also Melania has a meme coin rug pull. Same with that pastor that spoke at his inauguration. He also had a meme coin rug pull. Like, man, all these quick rich scams that they're doing, and like these people, like, just they fall for it, and it's like sad. Like, yeah, that's crazy. I mean, I like that Adam Schiff like brought it up, but it's like crazy. The Avoidia says the average American has the emotional development of a teenager, the stupidity of a small town farmer, and the individuality or individuality of Ayn Rand. Yeah, pretty accurate,
That's going to call
honestly.
public attention to his malfeasance.
And joining us now is one of the inspectors general dismissed by Trump on Friday, Mark Greenblatt. He was the inspector general of the Department of Interior. Sir, thanks very much for being here.
Well, thank you for
Appreciate
having
your
me
time.
on. Yeah.
Can you explain how you learned about this? What happened on Friday?
So Friday night, I got an email on my work phone, and I checked it, and on there was it said White House notification, and I knew that can't be good. In the prior Trump administration, President Trump had removed 2 inspectors general, both of which were on Friday nights. And so those are Friday night, Friday night massacres at that time.
Yeah.
And so to get an email from the White House saying White House notification on a Friday night at 7:30, I knew that couldn't be good. And so I opened it up, and there was a 2-sentence email from the Director of Presidential Personnel that said, in light of changing priorities, you are, terminated from your position at the, Department of the Interior, effective immediately, and thank you for your service.
So have you had a chance to clean out your office?
No, actually, my
Damn.
email has been cut off, and I don't know what's going to happen with my things. I was there for 5.5 years, and so we'll see.
You were appointed
Wow,
by
that's crazy.
Donald Trump. Or
Didn't even let him have time to clean out his desk and all the other stuff. They're just like, yeah, you know what? You're fired. You're done. That's it. Effective immediately, ASAP. Don't even come back. Don't even grab your things. They're going to be in the trash and be in the dumpster. Don't even, bother. That's crazy. Man, I got to say, the devil works hard, but Trump works even harder. That is insane. The man is just on a roll. Executive order after executive order, abusing his executive power is just crazy. And the crazy thing is, Republicans used to be small government. We don't want government, interfering with our daily lives and blah 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 blah, abusing their power. And here comes Trump, freaking who knows how many executive orders now. I've lost count. I think it's like 20 something plus on in the first couple of days. It's just crazy, and I'm pretty sure there's going to be more to come.
named to this position by Donald Trump back in 2019. Do you have any sense of why he would put you on this list?
No, I don't know. And all that was stated was the changing priorities in that email, which I understand the other IGs who were removed, the 17 or 18 of us, we're still sifting through the rubble, frankly, to find out how many IGs were removed. But as far as I know, all of us got essentially the same email that said changing priorities.
Well, because, one of the things that happened on your watch that, of course, Donald Trump himself has focused on was this report that you did on what happened in Lafayette Square back during the Black Lives Matter protests, and the square was cleared, and there's those pictures of Donald Trump, of course, walking across the square with Mark Milley, and he was clearly pleased with you because he wrote after this report came out, and you said, well, that the square was not cleared. You said the evidence we obtained did not support a finding that the U.S. Park Police cleared the park to allow the president to survey the damage and walk to St. John's Church. The evidence showed that the U.S. Park Police did not know about the president's potential movement until mid to late afternoon on June 1st, hours after it had begun developing its operational plan and the fencing contractor had arrived in the park. And then Trump issued this statement thanking the Inspector General, you, for completely and totally exonerating me in the clearing of Lafayette Park. It just seems as though the work that you're doing, and it's trustworthy, et cetera, has put him in a positive light, not a negative one.
Well, we do fair, objective, independent oversight, and I've been doing that for 5.5 years, and I'm very proud of the work that my team has done during my tenure as Inspector General. And so I would agree with you. I don't know what the basis of the removal was, but we've been doing good, high-impact work trying to help the American taxpayer. We are the taxpayers' representatives inside the Department of the Interior, and I think we've been doing that job really well.
So let's talk about the big picture impact of not just your job, but all of these. You say you're still sifting through the rubble. What does that mean for taxpayers if there are not people like you in these roles?
Well, I would say it's troubling. These removals should be sending off alarm bells for a number of different reasons. But the primary one, in my view, is the independence of these positions. The whole construct of inspectors general, it's based on us being independent, that we're not beholden to a political party of any stripe, that we are there as the taxpayers' representatives to call balls and strikes without any dog in the fight. So that's the question: is what will President Trump do with these positions? Is he going to nominate watchdogs, or is he going to nominate lapdogs? That's the key question.
I mean, obviously it's gonna be lapdogs, you know. I mean, he shouldn't even have to say that. He's not gonna have watchdogs, really. He's gonna have lapdogs, just, you know. I mean, honestly, I think it's gonna be, because I mean, during his last administration, I mean, come on, he didn't do shit. Let's be honest. He didn't really do anything. Hold on, but yeah, I mean, last time I mean, none of the department heads really did anything last time, and with inspector generals, I mean, I'm pretty sure he's just gonna have like people just be sitting on their ass all day and doing nothing. You know, like I don't know.
He's going to nominate independent-minded folks who are independent in body and spirit, then that's hopefully the right course of action. If he goes down a path of nominating and appointing political lackeys, then I think the American taxpayers, Congress, stakeholders throughout the country should be up in arms. This is not a good development for the American taxpayer.
What should we be looking for? I know you came up through basically the inspectors general community. You are a professional investigator. What would be a red flag in someone's background that would indicate that, in your words, they would be a lapdog and not a watchdog?
Well, certainly. I mean, and we've seen this in administrations of both kinds, both sides of the aisle over the years. The big issue is, do they have a political experience that would call their credibility into question? Do they have, are they working for the administration? Do they have a dog in the fight? That's the key question, and it manifests itself in a number of different ways. But the key thing is, can they be objective? It doesn't mean they necessarily have to come from the inspector general community, but do they have a background that suggests they can do the job, they can be in a leadership position, they can speak truth to power? Those are some of the key indicia of successful inspectors general.
All right, Mark Greenblatt, I'm very grateful to have you on the show. I'm sure it's been a tough weekend for you.
Yeah.
So thank you for spending some time with us.
Thank you very much.
It. Joey, I want to ask you also about another story
left.
we've been following because, of course, this is, again, the beginning of week 2 of the Trump administration, but it is head-spinning to try to keep up with it all. President Trump fired a number of inspectors general across the U.S. government. Was that legal in your view?
No, it was not. I mean, well, let's take it this way, right? Number one, obviously, the president is the commander in chief, and it's your prerogative to have employed with the federal government or, any entity thereof who you want. However, there are specific notice provisions that Congress set when you have watchdog groups and agencies, entities, or people overseeing things. And that notice provision provides for you to, A, give 30 days notice to Congress, and B, give a justification as to why it is that you felt appropriate to do so. That wasn't done. And so if you're going to do things, again, do them. You're the commander in chief. Just do them in accordance with law, in accordance with specific guidelines, and in accordance with the rules and regulations. Don't do things just because you feel like doing them.
Come on, brother, my guy. He knows who he's talking about. He's talking about Trump, obviously. It's like, dude, you have to know Trump. He's a capitalist. He's a head of his company. Trump. Trump Tower, Trump this, Trump that, Trump Casino. He's a businessman. Businessmen, capitalists, do not like rules and regulations. They do not like abiding by them, even though they have to. They do not. He's not going to give a 30-day notice. Just like a job at your, a regular ass job. The company's not going to give you a 30-day notice that you're getting fired. They're going to fire you like immediately, with or without, proper reasoning. But yeah, I mean, this does not surprise me. I mean, every administration does this. They fire people. They bring in their own people or people that they want, or people who will like support them in their views of how they want like a department run. Can you react to this music? What music? I mean, if you can put a link, I'll react to it.
That's unlawful.
I'll add it.
The Senate
We got
Committee on
other stuff
Commerce,
here.
Science, and Transportation will come to
All
order.
right, now we're gonna be watching Ted Cruz. Ted Cruz, he's laying out. It says right here, breaking news: Ted Cruz lays out Trump's case that the U.S. should retake control of Panama Canal. The Panama Canal.
We're here today to examine a monument to American ingenuity, the Panama Canal. Senator Moreno down there suggested we open the hearing by playing Van Halen and Panama. We may not do that, but
you got it
between
right
the
here.
American construction of the Panama Canal, the French effort to build an isthmus canal, and America's triumphant completion of that canal, the major infrastructure projects across Panama cost more than 35,000 lives. For the
we'll look
final
at this
decade
later.
of work on the Panama Canal, the United States spent
Hold on, what
nearly
is this?
$400 million, equivalent
Radio meter.
to more than $15 billion today. The Panama Canal proved a truly invaluable asset, sparing both cargo ships and warships the long journey around South America. When President Carter gave it away to Panama, Americans were puzzled, confused, and many outraged. With the passage of time, many have lost sight of the canal's importance, both to national security and to the U.S. economy. Not President Trump. When he demanded fair treatment for American ships and goods, many in the media scoffed. But the Panama Canal was not just given away. President Carter struck a bargain. He made a treaty. And President Trump is making a serious and substantive argument that that treaty is being violated right now. This committee has jurisdiction under the Senate rules over the Panama Canal, and today we will examine evidence of potential violations. President Trump has highlighted two key issues. Number one, the danger of China exploiting or blocking passage through the canal. And number two, the exorbitant costs for transit.
Okay. China's navy is nowhere near the same as the United States Navy. Come on, let's be real. US has navy bases literally everywhere. China does not have navy bases outside of China. They make artificial islands and whatnot, but they do not have like the same capacity as like the United States Navy. I mean, let's be real. We could easily blow the Chinese Navy out of the damn water. Let's be honest. Come on. The United States spends the most in the military. That is like our number one thing. We are the best at that. We love spending money, buying stupid ass boats, buying helis, buying planes, war stuff, ammo, guns, missiles, and the like. Yeah, come on. Let's be real. Come on. China, no matter how, China does not build the same amount of boats in the time that we do. We build more boats than China does in less time. Come on. We can easily, this doesn't make sense. Besides, I don't think that with the Panama Canal, why would China need the Panama Canal? I mean, they're possibly for controlling trade and whatnot, but or whatever. But I mean, the U.S. wants to do the same thing. Why not just let Panama have it, let it be open for everyone's free to use it? If there is a war, or I'm pretty sure Panama would close the canal. I mean, I'm pretty sure they don't want fucking any political blowback from letting a foreign fucking navy, completely disregard their sovereignty. I don't think Panama would let that slide, and I don't think the U.S. would let that slide either. I mean, they shouldn't. I mean, we should protect our neighbors rather than hold them for hold them hostage with economic sanctions and whatnot. But I mean, you know, the U.S. just does its own thing, and Trump does crazy ass shit all the damn time.
Chinese companies are right now building a bridge across the canal at a slow pace so as to take nearly a decade. And Chinese companies control container ports at either end. The partially completed bridge gives China the ability to block the canal without warning. And the ports give China ready observation posts to time that action. This situation, I believe, poses acute risks to U.S. national security. Meanwhile, the high fees for canal transit disproportionately affect Americans because U.S. cargo accounts for nearly 3/4 of canal transits. U.S. Navy vessels pay additional fees that apply only to warships.
As they should. I mean, you know, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see.
Canal
We'll see
profits
what else he says.
regularly exceed $3 billion. This money comes from both American taxpayers and consumers in the form of higher costs for goods.
Bro, Trump wants to do that with tariffs. Like, what the fuck is he saying? We're gonna, like, dude, just the threat of a tariff made coffee prices go up, bro. I'm gonna have to pay more for my coffee beans. It's gonna suck. It's gonna suck. Because of what he's, you know, because he's threatening Colombia with tariffs, and now, you know, Colombia's striking back with tariffs of their own, or, you know, they're possibly gonna do it. I don't know if it's a done deal yet about the tariff against Colombia, and then vice versa, Colombia doing tariffs on us. But yeah, coffee's gonna go up. Other stuff that we get from Colombia is gonna go up in price, which, you know, gonna suck. It's gonna suck. I mean, egg prices are already pretty damn high in the United States, especially with the bird flu that we got going on here. A lot of chickens being sick under quarantine. You know, we can't get eggs. I literally went to the store today, and then also at my job, I work at a grocery store. Yeah, I went to the grocery store today. I didn't go to the one that I work at because it's a little too far from where I live right now. I mean, it's not that far. It's like 2-3 cities away, and it's not that far. But I just didn't want to go. But yeah, anyways, no eggs at Target. I think there were eggs at Stater Brothers, but I'm not sure. Yeah, there was no eggs at Target when I went this morning with my mom. She needed to buy stuff at Target. Walmart, when I went to Walmart the other day, and no eggs at Walmart. No eggs at my job. I heard there's no eggs at Sprouts and Whole Foods. So, I mean, it's just a doozy. Egg prices, I think the last time I bought eggs at Stater Brothers, it cost me like fucking $10 for 12. It was like almost $1 a damn egg, bro. This is insane. Insanity. Egg prices, man. Gonna suck living in America these next couple of years,
American
bro.
tourists aboard cruises,
Or not
particularly
America, the
those
United
in the
States.
Caribbean Sea, are essentially captive to any fees Panama chooses to levy for canal transits. And they have paid unfair prices for fuel bunkering at terminals in Panama as a result of government-granted monopoly. Panama's government relies on these exploitative fees. Nearly 1/10 of its budget is paid for with canal profit. As those fees cascade through the American economy and the federal fisc, the Chinese Communist Party advances its global economic contest against the United States and takes a militaristic interest in the canal. While President Trump has rightly focused on these key issues, there are additional problems. In the last 2 years, the Canal Authority generated record revenue, even while transits were depressed by drought conditions. And the only comfort to delayed and overcharged ships is that Panama may invest in more freshwater reserves in the future. Even as it takes advantage of the global maritime system, Panama has emerged as a bad actor. Panama has for years flagged dozens of vessels in the Iranian Ghost Fleet, which brought Iran tens of billions of dollars in oil profits to fund terror across the world. And Chinese companies have won contracts, often without fair competition, as the infamous Belt and Road Initiative has come to Panama. China often engages in debt trap diplomacy to enable economic.
No, they don't. They actually cancel some debt. They actually canceled debt. They don't. In Africa, Africa borrowed, took on credit from China to build roads and infrastructure and other stuff. You know what China did? They canceled the debt. Oh wow, China, very cool, very communist of you. CCP China. Thank you. You didn't have to do that. You could have been just like the capitalists. You could have just, put them on on a mortgage plan for the rest of their lives. Wow, China, very cool, canceling debt to African countries. Very cool, very nice. That's why African countries are very grateful to China. And Panama wants some of that. They want some of that. They want some of that infrastructure too. They're like, "Hey, China, how about you build us some infrastructure? Yeah, we'll pay you back. We'll use some of the funds from our canal to pay you back or whatever. Or even if you want to cancel our debt, we're cool with that too. I'm pretty sure that's what Panama's thinking.
And political coercion. In Panama, it also seems to have exploited simple corruption.
Corruption's like literally everywhere. It doesn't matter.
At Ranking Member Cantwell's request, we also invited the Deputy Administrator of the Panama Canal to appear today. She declined that invitation.
Well, yeah, she doesn't want to be in hot water because you guys are going to be throwing
matter, but I also recognize
assumptions and accusations at her left and right.
Authority is an unenviable task. This committee may be obliged to compel her testimony.
This is just colonial. This is just neo-colonialism that we're doing.
Senators notice
neo-imperialism.
That Professor Kontorovich is appearing virtually today. That will be a very unusual practice before this committee. The professor was ready to fly from Israel to D.C. to appear in person, but he was unable to because too few American carriers have resumed direct flights to Israel. While European airliners are willing to fly to Israel, service to America has been prohibitively long and expensive. Israel is America's closest ally in the Middle East, and U.S. carriers are refusing to fly there. Late last week, Delta Airlines announced it would finally restart direct flights to Tel Aviv in April. And I very much hope that United Airlines and American Airlines will very quickly follow suit and resume direct flights to Israel. Turning back to the topic at hand, I'm grateful to President Trump for raising public awareness about the state of the Panama Canal and the threats to American interests. We cannot afford to let American shippers be extorted. We cannot turn a blind eye if Panama
you guys are going to be doing that.
What are you talking about? Commercial and military importance, and we cannot stay idle while China is on the march in our hemisphere. I expect and hope the testimony today to enlighten on all of those issues. I will now turn to Ranking Member Cantwell for her opening statement.
Thank you, Mr.
All right. We're gonna continue with the next video, but first we're gonna watch this this music that Nershak. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Nershakta Shaktra. I'm butchering your name. I'm so sorry. But yeah, anyways, Amit Trivedi's "Sound of the Nation" uncut performance RSMMA music. This is like
घर जन्नत है ज़मीं पे कहीं यहीं पर है हमी अस्तो हमी अस्तो हमी अस्तो हमी अस्तो हमी अस्तो घर फिरदौस पर रुए ज़मीन अस्त हमी अस्तो हमी अस्तो घर जन्नत है ज़मीं पे कहीं यहीं पर है हमी अस्तो
That's fire. So far.
पश्मीना धागों के संग कोई आज बुने ख्वाब ऐसे कैसे वादी में गूंजे कहीं नए साज ये रबाब ऐसे कैसे पश्मीना धागों के संग
getting a solo?
कागज के दो पंख लेके घोड़ा चला जाए रे, जहाँ नहीं जाना था ये वही चला है रे। उम्र का ये ताना बाना समझ न पाए रे, जुबा पे जो मोह माया नमक लगाए रे, के देखे न भाले न जाने न दाए रे, दिशाहारा केमन बोका मुंटा रे। প্রাণ পাখি মোর উইরা যায় খাঁচা ভেঙে, পীড়িত বড় জ্বালা রে।
I'm giving this a like. This is awesome. I don't know what they're saying, but it's good music. I know good music, I feel.
প্রাণ পাখি মোর উইরা যায় খাঁচা ভেঙে,
सवार लूं हाय सवार लूं, सवार लूं हाय सवार लूं।
केसरिया बाल में आओ सा पधारो, महाराज दे। लुक छिप ना जाओ जी, मन दीद कराओ जी, अरे क्यों तरसावे हो मन सकल दिखाओ जी, हरी सरोरत सब जानू मैं चौधरी, हर सले वो निपंगा जी मैं कहन लगी, हर ईवड़े में जागी धोकनी, चंदा में थारी चांदनी, दामन में बांधी खुशी रे, झुम 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 ओ हरे ईवड़े में जागी धोकनी, चंद में थारी चांदनी, दामन में बांधी खुशी रे, झुम 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 झुम।
Awesome. Oh, grandma's about to go crazy, bro.
नवराई माझी लाडाची लाडाची ग, आवडतीला चंद्राची चंद्राची ग, नवराई माझी लाडाची लाडाची ग, आवडतीला चंद्राची चंद्राची ग, नवराई माझी नवसाची नवसाची ग, अप्सरा जशी इंद्राची इंद्राची ग।
Oh shoot, my cat scared me.
हो शुभारंभ मंगल बेलाई, सपनों की डहरी पे दिल की बाजी रे शहनाई शहनाई शहनाई। ओ हे शुभारंभ हो शुभारंभ मंगल बेलाई, सपनों की डहरी पे दिल की बाजी रे शहनाई शहनाई शहनाई। खम के बीच कच्ची जमीन पे हमको बोना है, नशे के मोती ससों की माला हमें पिरोना है अपना बोझ मिल के साथ हमको ढोना है शहनाई 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 रस रचिलियो साथ सजिलियो शुभ घड़ी छे आवी आछा आछा टमटमाता शमणावो छे लावी
This is dope. I'll be back. I'm gonna get a snack.
Dreamum, wake upum, critical conditionum. Hey, artham, quick upum, hiladula sab shake upum.
Gonna be having a little Airheads orange.
Dharti putram, top to besam, kama sutram, thaisam, thandaram, downam, mandaram, saisam, mataram, thinkam, wondaram, jumpingam, pumpingam, throbbingam, thumpingam.
तू हो गई 1 to 2 ओ कुड़िए what to do ओ हो गई मुंडे दी पतंगा वर्गी तू एवें उड़दी ओ हो गई मुंडे दी हिला ते चलदी टुक टुक तू करदी मेकअप तू
He's not gonna need it. I'm still thinking smell it.
अंग्रेजी पढ़दी गिट पिट तू करदी जिवें क्वीन साडी विक्टोरिया तू घंटी बिग बैन दी पूरा लंदन चमकदा ओ जदों नच्चे पैन दी पूरा लंदन चमकदा
I know my dancing's ass, but I can't really move that much in this shirt.
पूरा लंदन चमकदा ओ जदों नच्चे पैन दी पूरा लंदन चमकदा
He wants the rapper, bro. We got 3 more minutes, guys. But this is good music. This is actually pretty good. I'm fucking with it so far. Not the type of music I normally listen to. This is Punjabi. And this is the first time I ever heard Punjabi music.
अंदर दा कुत्ता अज गड़िए अग दुनिया पेट्रोल चल सुठिए पाउडर किराना का रखेगा कौन हिसाब हाउड़ दा पंजाब हाउड़ दा पंजाब हाउड़ दा
Hell yeah, bro. I'll put this down a little bit. Put
I would like to thank Mirchi Awards for giving me this opportunity. हर कंपोजर का एक ड्रीम होता है मेरा भी एक ड्रीम था
Bro, what the hell?
कि मैं अपने देश के साउंड्स को लेके कुछ करूं और मुझे आज इस प्लेटफॉर्म पे ये मौका मिला मैं अपने देश के म्यूजिक को एक साथ इकट्ठे बाइंड करके एक ही स्टेज पे लाऊं and it wouldn't have been possible without these amazing artists on stage and this is the sound of our nation.
Oh yeah, they did a really good job.
I liked it, and this is what makes me love my zindagi. So on that note, love you zindagi.
Yeah, they did really good. They're awesome. The audio was fucking loud as fuck. I'm so sorry. I have volume master. That's why you see me. This and shit.
उसे कह दो बाय 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 आने दो दिल में आ जाने दो कह दो मुस्कुराहट को हाय 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 से चले जाने दो कह दो घबराहट को बाय 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 लव यू जिंदगी लव यू जिंदगी लव यू जिंदगी लव मी जिंदगी
Thank you, Chatter, for recommending this. That was pretty cool. That was awesome.
Love you, zindagi.
Yeah. Okay. Now back to our regularly scheduled politic news stuff. Okay, we just finished the Panama Canal one. Now let's go to the Trump signs executive order banning transgender service members.
Forces as he signs multiple executive orders to reshape the military.
Senior White House correspondent Peter Doocy has all the details. Hey, Peter.
Good morning. And standing here, it feels like it's been more than a week and a day since President Trump was sworn in, because
Peter
so
Doocy?
far, and we've got a graphic here, he signed 38 executive orders, and he signed them in the Oval Office.
38 executive orders? Abuse of power much, brother? Wow. Wow. Look at this. Restoring free speech and ending federal censorship. Ending the weaponization of the federal government. Putting America first in international, what is this? EMV agreements. Protecting from foreign adversary-controlled apps. Oh, that's the TikTok one. Which we haven't banned TikTok yet, but he put a 70-day extension on it. You saw that? He was trying to put his mark on my bed. Withdrawing the US from the HWO. That is very bad. That's very, very bad. Restore policy influencing position accountability. Brother.
And at an arena and at his resort in Florida. The latest ones came last night.
God.
And what they do is reinstate troops who refused the COVID vaccine, about 8,000 people, develops an American Iron Dome missile defense system like what they have in Israel, formulate a new policy.
American Iron Dome? That's crazy, bro. Especially since we're literally surrounded by the ocean on both sides of America, of the United States. I keep saying America. America's not a country. It's it's the continent. But yeah, wow. Ban DEI initiatives in the military. Why? Reinstate troops who refuse COVID vaccine. You're just gonna get, like, bro. I mean, at least the other guys already have COVID vaccinated. But like, man, dude, come on, like, you could cause like a fucking breakout or something. Formulate policy on transgender troops, basically saying you're all fired. I don't want you here. You're not American enough, or whatever. From the United States of America, brother. I'm living in the central of the world empire. I'm living in hell where I'm at. Hottest place. I'm from Cali. Develop an American Iron Dome. That one's insane. Not only is it insane, crazy expensive. Crazy expensive. That's where our tax dollars are going. Our tax dollars are going to go to American Iron Dome instead of Medicare, Social Security, all these other cool social programs and such that we use and take for granted on a daily basis. Wow. Thank you, President Trump. You are so awesome, bro. Not really. That's sarcastic. That's me being sarcastic.
Troops, that is up to Pete Hegseth, the Secretary of Defense, to figure out how that's going to work. And then ban DEI initiatives in the military.
We're so cooked.
I'll be signing 4 new executive orders. First is that I'm directing our new Secretary of Defense, Pete Hegseth. He's what we need, to immediately begin the construction of a state-of-the-art Iron Dome missile defense shield, which will be able to protect Americans. You see that with Israel. We're out of 319 rockets. They knocked down just about every one of them. So I think the United States is entitled to that, and everything will be made right here in the USA, 100%.
And the Trump
I don't know how
cabinet
that's
is
gonna work.
growing. His Treasury Secretary was easily confirmed last night. Scott Bessent got 68 votes. Sean Duffy for transportation is expected to get bipartisan support as well later on today. Nothing public on President
guy's
Trump's
such an
schedule that we have
attention
seen, but
whore.
he is planning to
This
send
one.
his press
Get him.
secretary, Caroline Leavitt, out to the briefing room for her first appearance there. Back to you.
Okay, no need to know.
Hey, Peter, going back to when you were talking about how Donald Trump revoked the Biden policy allowing trans people to serve in the armed forces. The number of trans people in the armed services right now, I know there was an NIH study or estimate done like 5 years ago at 8,000. Who knows how many there are today? What's going to happen to those people?
Bro, look at this guy. He's just thinking about life right now. He's like, man, how did I get myself in this?
It sounds like once Pete Hegseth comes up with the new policy, they are going to be discharged. And it's not essentially what the argument is in the fact sheet that we were given about that executive order. President Trump does not think that transgender people are physically or mentally stable enough to serve in the armed forces, and they specifically cite readiness with transition surgeries. If you have a transition surgery, the recovery time and the narcotics that you have to be on as part of the process could affect your readiness for up to 12 months. They say that is what their concern is. So if there's a readiness concern, you're basically booted from the military.
Wow. I mean, you know, we do have Army reserves who can take the place while these people, you know, are effectively, you know, fighting. Ready to fight and whatnot. Effective, I guess, is what they would say. But, you know, whatever. I mean, I don't know why they have to kick all the transgender people out of the military. Did I play video games? Yes, I also play video games. We're going to play later. Probably some Civilization ramping up for the new Civ.
All right.
Thank you, Peter.
So I guess they were waiting for Pete to get the job, but they've certainly gotten wokeness out of the military. DEI is going to be history. They're going to enforce it. And goodbye DEI among Veterans Affairs, too. 60 DEI employees over at Veterans Affairs with salaries totaling more than $8 million. We're told they're done. There's no need. If you talk about cutting, they're cutting DEI programs everywhere, but especially in the military. And I thought Pete said something interesting on the steps yesterday, and I'm going to enforce it to make sure you're not going around me. But when it comes to the Tuskegee Airmen, they thought that was a little, that was passive aggressive. We're going to cut that off because that's DEI. No, it isn't. It's a fantastic military story about the first black fighter pilot.
Well, it was intentionally cut to try to cut the knees out of this administration.
Make him seem racially intolerant.
And to make Pete seem like a racist, make the president. The whole point of the Tuskegee Airmen is their merit and acknowledging their merit. I'm just glad that we finally got a Pentagon that is worried about metrics. And the metrics have to be, can you do the O course? Can you do the job? Are you lethal enough? Can you go after the enemy? Do you have the mental capacity to decipher the enemy versus friend? That's all I want. I don't care about getting women in. I don't care about getting diversity numbers in. I want to be feared by the world. And finally, we have people in there that's willing to do that.
Donald Trump, about defense.
He also signed an executive order saying if you lost your military career, and 8,000 people did because they refused to have the vaccine, then you could be reinstated with back pay. So we interviewed Lieutenant Colonel Douglas Haig. He has served our country in the Army. He was 2 years away from retirement, and he said he resigned from the military when they were forcing him to do this. He didn't want to say, I'm going to claim an exemption, like a religious exemption, because he said that wasn't true. Right. So because they were kicking him out, he just said he resigned. So he's not sure he's eligible for the reinstatement, but this is what he said about Donald Trump and what he went through.
I think me, like many others, were ecstatic about it at the idea, the potential to
that sucks, bro.
To rejoin the service. You know, I spent 18 years on active duty service. It was my career, my entire adulthood, and I, you know, I lost that, and now there's the potential to regain it now. So very appreciative. I'm thankful that President Trump made these.
Army officer. He does not look fighting. He does not look fighting effective. He looks out of shape.
made these promises early on and is now following through with them. So I didn't want to get the vaccine. I made it clear early on in my, before the mandate actually to my leadership that I was not planning to get it. Once it was mandated, I told them I wasn't going to, and I submitted my resignation. Me personally, I love the idea of going back to the service. It's what I'm passionate about.
He was an officer. Let me just say one thing, if that's okay. This is what he did for our country. Officer in the Army, completed airborne school, Ranger school, served as an infantry officer, communications officer, 2 deployments to Iraq, 1 in Kuwait, and then rejoined as a drilling reservist when that mandate was finally dropped. So I hope he is eligible. I hope they do case-by-case basis. If you retired or you resigned because of that mandate, then hopefully you can go back and serve and get that back pay.
Right. I just like to add this before we move on from defense. The president brought it up in every speech and no one ever reported it because they were more into finding something controversial about his campaign remarks. But he says, I sign an executive order to start building the Iron Dome for this country, missile defense. Now, to keep up with the next hypersonics and everything, to make sure it's not outdated, he's going to need constant improvement. But he said, I watched what was happening with Israel. I saw them knock down all those missiles coming from Iran. I've seen it happen regularly, what's happening in Ukraine. Why don't we have it in our country? So it's going to cost something like $250 billion. Congress has got to green light it, but he wants work to start right.
250 billion with the B. $150 billion.
By the way, who in this country would not want missile defense? Especially.
I don't. I don't. I mean, like, I don't know. That's so much money, bro. We're already living like hard, and that's it. No, we're getting all the social programs getting cut. I bet. I'm pretty sure they're gonna gut all the social programs to fund this.
ICBMs being shot by North Korea. How does it make sense that we don't have a shield? Rumsfeld talked about it, and they said, you're crazy. The technology's not there. He was not crazy. He was right with the concept. But I think we're there. I like to say, I don't know how you guard a country this big, but I'm sure there's some scientists that we could focus on putting him in areas.
Combination of that idea as well as we got to get with these drones. I mean, we got to figure out how they're able to fly, who they are. Right. I want technology. I want R&I into that as well. So President Trump.
He wants drones. Like, he specifically wants drones to do the killing. Crazy.
Trump signing 4 new military-focused executive orders, including
I want drones,
one that calls
but just for killing
to
people,
remove
not for recreation,
in the military,
not to make
and
beautiful
another banning transgender services
pieces of art with cinema and whatnot.
And
I
in
want
a little
them to
while, I'll
kill.
be signing 4 new executive
kill.
orders. First is that I'm directing our new Secretary of Defense, Pete Hegseth, who's going to be great, by the way. We will get transgender ideology the hell out of our military. It's going to be gone. In addition, we will stop our service members from being indoctrinated with radical left ideologies such as critical race theory.
So Medal of Honor recipient, Staff Sergeant David Bellavia joins us now. Thanks for getting up this morning, David.
This is my country.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
So obviously we're excited to have Pete Hegseth as the Secretary of Defense Secretary. What do you make of these new changes, getting rid of the DEI, focus on the mission plan, which is to defeat the enemy?
Lawrence, if the cliche is war is hell, I can't even tell you how devastating Joe Biden and Democrats have been to the DOD, knowingly gutting our ethos, who we are, making us try to think about whether or not we're the bad guy or the good guy. We talk about this transgender ban. This isn't a transgender ban. This is clearly stating that if you cannot deploy and fight, then we don't want you in the military, which is the equivalent of saying to our pilots, if you can't see, we don't want you behind the yoke of an F-16 Charlie. We don't want you on an F-22. Transgender soldiers right now, whether you're on hormones or you're non-deployable for 36 months after a transition surgery, well, who are you fighting for? What do you do? Are you there for you or are you there for your country?
They could work office jobs. There are a lot of office jobs to be done in the military, decoding stuff, whatnot. You know, not everyone fights.
And your
Not everyone
teammates.
fights.
This is all about taking the selfishness out of serving your country and reminding people it's all about the community, it's all about the team, it's all about the country. And I'm ashamed that it took executive orders to remind the greatest military in the world who we are and what we do.
It's so incredible. I mean, you just laid it out perfectly about what the standards should be, and it should be no different based on what box you check. Here's Secretary Hegseth is going to take some getting used to, laying out the major plan. Watch.
Today, there are more executive orders coming that we fully support on removing DEI inside the Pentagon. Our job is lethality and readiness and warfighting. We're going to hold people accountable.
I mean, he wrote a book about it. Expect major changes.
Yeah, I mean, really, that book is the bedrock of what, I mean, if you want to know where the 29th Secretary of Defense stands, it's all in black and white. But I mean, the key, again, is that the Chinese, the Russians, Iran, ISIS, Al-Qaeda.
That's right.
When we go to the battlefield, none of these things about a kinder, gentler world. We all want peace. No one wants war. But we will be ready to wipe
gonna play
you
video
off
games
the
right
face
after
of
this
the
clip.
planet if you want to hurt our citizens or our allies and our friends. That's the entire subject matter. You know, when I was in school, Lawrence, like you, what was the main line of the paragraph? This is what we do in the military. We will break you and we will force you to change your opinion. That's what this is all about. And we can't do it by making ourselves feel good about who we want to be. No more of this petri dish mentality. We are a warrior class, and we have to be that to keep America safe.
I love the warrior energy. All the door kickers that I've been speaking with, men like you, they all have this reignited energy, and that started with the Commander-in-Chief, Donald Trump, and Pete Hegseth leading the way. Sergeant, thanks so much for joining the program this morning.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.
Okay, let's play video games.